Hang on a second. Hang on. Are we good to go? No? Where's my beer? That's what I'm wanting to know. Maybe Karen, can you get my beer for me? That'd be great. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Yo, what's going on, Arkansas Razorback fans, SEC fans everywhere? Welcome to the one and only Pig Trail Network YouTube channel. Hope you guys had a great week. Do me a favor, like the video. That's important. Share the content across social media. That is also important. Sharing the content's great. This is a loaded show. I mean, there's so much to talk about. Yes, if you listen to the latest Hog Talk, some of what I'm about to say, you kind of heard some of it, but been watching some more Florida tape, a little bit more Florida tape, and I'm going to give you the rest of my takeaways plus my prediction. Have we posted that yet on Hog Talk? I don't think we have. I don't think the Hog Talk has posted that yet on Facebook or Twitter. But I'm going to give you my score. Maybe something's changed. You never know. Plus, we're going to talk red-white scrimmage basketball. Was in and out on that one. Did not get to catch the entire game. I watched a strong 75% of it, so I'm sure there's going to be something that I left out. Yeah, be sure to leave comments, questions if you got them. I'm going to do my best to answer them. We do have some recruiting updates as well. So, again, like, comment, question, share the content. Tap the subscribe button if you have not yet. Please subscribe. 3,100 subs, man. I'm digging it. I'm really digging it. That's awesome. We're inching towards 500,000 total views on this channel. I'm going to continue to brag about that every single time I'm live. I cannot believe we're getting that we're coming up on 500,000 views. That's unreal. Yeah. Check out the links provided for you down below if you guys want to become a part of the Pig Trail Network Patreon. As I always say, that's available for you. That link is provided for you down below, as well as the up-to-date Hog Talk podcast. That link should be live and good to go. And if you don't want to join the Patreon, you can take part in the PayPal. You can it's a little tip jar. I call it the tip jar. I've got a swear jar I have to use when I'm on the Hog Talk pod because we try to keep things. We have sponsors there, right? I can't say the things there that I can say here. So, okay, let's just jump right into this bad boy. Let me read chat really quick. Anthony White, Whoopig Suey, brother, what's going on? Michael Harris, what's up, Ty? How you doing, Michael? Hope all's well, sir. I hope all's well. Anthony White, it took me a full day to get a PS5. Anyone else have the same problem? Anthony, they are really hard to get. I don't feel the need to own one right now. I'm fine with my PS4 Pro. And I'm always, ever since the Xbox 360 fiasco, the Red Ring of Death, ever since then, and even before that, I've always been hesitant to get a brand new console like the first wave. I always wait that and I'm broke. I can't afford one. Mike Ewing, sup, Ty, Whoopig Suey, Flamingo Friday, says Sean. How's it going? Trip, we need a PTN live reaction stream. You watch the game while on stream so we can see your live raw reaction. So I could not get the game to pull up last night. I had thought about doing an immediate post game. The only thing is I do run the risk of getting my channel hit with a copyright strike or whatever. I've had a few of those. And I've been shadow banned by YouTube for that. I've noticed a lot of my videos started, when I'm if I'm on my kids' on their YouTube, they have their own Google or their own, Google sign-in because of school. And then we have the restrictions turned off, I'm pretty sure. But I noticed, I have to search for my content on their, on their pages. I have to search for it. So my videos are no longer being recommended. And the only reason why I looked that up is because a couple of friends of mine said your videos are no longer being recommended. It's all other hog content creators. Not that there's a whole lot. There's only really, Trey Biddy, and that's it. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if that has something to do with the copyright strikes. If I said something and I got reported, but I haven't gotten an email from Google. I like to kind of look, I get edgy. I get edgy from time to time. I could really use a beer right about now. But yeah, so Trip, I had thought about doing that, but I run the risk of running into more copyright strikes. And I don't know. I have a Twitch channel. It's the Tyzilla83 Twitch, but the last time I logged in and did anything on Twitch was like 3 years ago. So I thought about doing that. I have thought about doing live reactions like on the spot, but maybe one day. Okay. Hey now, you miss me over what? Hey now, you miss over me. What the heck? Ross? 3 o'clock come early today, bud? I'm just kidding. It's 7 p.m. Plenty of time to get drunk. I don't know what you're saying there, brother. Oh, you were first comment. Well, it didn't show up on my screen that you were first comment. Anthony White shows up on my screen as I'm sorry. I see what you're saying, though. I see what you're saying, Ross. I don't drink. Oh, okay. Well, whatever. Do you smoke peyote? Do you smoke? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. God bless you, sir. Yeah, I'm sorry. Anthony White was the first comment. Okay. All is well, brother. Thanks. All right, Michael. It's good to hear. Moses Moody looked pretty dang good. I agree. Couple of players stood out last night. We'll get into that. Just need a tiny screen with the game on it. Laugh out loud. Steven Crowder does that, and it turns out fine. Steven Crowder has sponsors, and I don't know. He's just a bigger channel, and I think he's able to kind of get away with some of that stuff. I love Crowder's content. I'm not gonna lie. Like, Crowder's a funny dude. Like, I would like for my channel to actually gain some kind of income. He doesn't. I don't think he's. Did he get his monetization back? I think he did, actually. I don't know. Like I said, I've thought about it. I walk on eggshells with that stuff. But I did stream the Major League Baseball draft, and I did not get hit with anything. And I did a whole, like, I was live the whole time. The other problem, too, was I couldn't get access to the channel. I do have YouTube TV, but it was on ESPN, or it was on SEC Network Plus, so I couldn't get access to it. But I could on my phone, which was weird. I don't know. Guys, I'm not tech savvy. I don't know how the hell I'm able to do this with OBS. Decorating a Christmas tree. Oh, so you're probably doing that with the family, so I better be PG. 28-33. Wish we had the ponies to keep up. I'm afraid we don't, says JHogs90. That's a good take. That is, yeah, that's pretty, yeah. I mean, if you keep it that close, that's respectable. There's no doubt about that. Going to be nice to have basketball team that has more than 5 or 6 regular players in game rotation. They are going to have bodies to play. Arkansas basketball has so much depth. It's a good problem to have, but there's going to be some guys not happy at the end of the year because they're not getting enough playing time. You're good, no worries. Okay, let's dive into the first bit. Let me make sure I got everything up here really fast. I rushed into this. I didn't have all my stuff pulled up. I do have my notes, but I don't have keep my stats on another page. So we'll get to Florida. Florida will be, wow, that line has not moved at all, or the spread has not moved. I'm kind of surprised by that. It has been the same since Monday. Okay. All right, well, let's start off first with, we know Sam Pittman's got the coof. Sam Pitty's got the coof. He's got COVID-19. If you're triggered by that, someone did say I shouldn't make light of that, of COVID-19. But guys, if we can't laugh at COVID, what do you expect me to do? We got to make light of this stuff. It's serious. I tell you guys all the time. I wear masks. I take care of me and my own, our family. We're taking all the necessary precautions. I'm going to make fun of it, though. That's what I do. Sammy Pitty's got the coof. He's doing fine. He's walking around all fine and everything. He's good. He's sitting at home probably sipping on pumpkin spice lattes for all I know. The guy's fine. He's asymptomatic. John Daly Jr. signs his LOI. I don't know if you guys caught that or not. John Daly Jr., who is a spitting image of his dad, signed his letter of intent. He's gonna play golf at Arkansas. Does he really, like, I don't know, first off, if that's a full ride. I don't know how that works. I don't think that it is because we know baseball, they don't get full rides. It's a little weird how that works out with baseball. Kevin Cabo's our Kevin Bohannon. He's our baseball. I mean, he could fill us in. I need to bring him on one of these nights. He could fill us in. Some really good stuff going on with baseball recruiting too, but we'll touch on that another time. I don't know how that works. I don't think he needs scholarship, but regardless, he's gonna be a hog like his dad. That's awesome. His dad, of course, is fighting cancer, so obviously thoughts and prayers are with John Daly. But his son, that had to make him proud, man. I mean, I know he's a very proud hog. Man, John Daly, I'm not into golf at all. I remember as a kid, everyone was into golf because John Daly was good, and well, I say everyone, the people that I was around, my family, they didn't play the game, but they loved, I think they caught on because of John Daly. He's a hog, and he's out there killing it. He's a damn good golfer. I can't speak the language. Like, I can't speak the language of golf. So I wonder if this kind of brings that back a little bit more hype around golf. I mean, I maybe, but he's just real. He doesn't care what people think. Or he doesn't care about what people think about him. He doesn't care. He just does what he does and lives his life. Got a good voice too, surprisingly. Red-white basketball scrimmage. So we'll just jump right into that. Moody's legit. He had 11 first-half points. I did not get a chance to figure out what he ended up doing. Really, since the red-white scrimmage, my life's been chaotic. We jumped right into homeschooling. I went to bed after that. Actually, I'm not going to lie, I played an hour of Assassin's Creed Valhalla for any of you fellow nerds in chat. But after that, then I went to bed. Woke up, homeschooled the kids. Wife got home. I had to drop the kids off. They're staying the night at a friend's house. So I've not had a chance to figure out what all happened with points and scoring with Moody. But Moody was on fire. I'd say the first half, based on what I saw, was all about Moody. He's legit. And I know that's like a no-duh thing to say, but again, how often does Arkansas sign these high-caliber kids? Not very often in Moody's when you look at his recruiting. But how often do you sign these high-caliber kids and it takes them a year or really two to get it going? Moody looks like he could get it going right out the gate. Was not super thrilled by what I saw. I mean, Connor Vanover, did he hit a three last night? I saw him trying to stretch the floor a little bit. He was there for rebounds. He even blocked at least a couple of shots. I think I saw him. He just reaches his arms up, and it's like, yeah, good luck. This is 14. This is 14 feet. Good luck all together with that wingspan. That's like 12 and a half, 14 feet, whatever. That's a lot. That's a big gap. But good luck trying to shoot over me. Like, what do you do with that? That's what he's going to provide you. You can finally have size. And he's pretty. I mean, he's someone who could move around a little bit. He's going to be able to stretch the floor. I like what he brings. If he's a legitimate threat, mid-range or out on the perimeter, if he's a legitimate threat on offense, I cannot tell you what that does for the. I mean, forget about all the other great things that have been added to this team this year. Not only that, but it's Musselman's second year. If you have someone like that who's a legitimate scoring threat. Now, remember last year, his first year on campus, he went to the red-white scrimmage. He was there. The guy was lighting it up. I mean, he was hitting it. He was stroking it. I have no doubt he's able to do that. If he perfects that part of his game and he becomes a legitimate threat, Arkansas is going to be tough to deal with. They're going to be tough to deal with from a defensive standpoint. Because now you got a big who's stroking it, who's got a mid-range or more than likely a decent perimeter shot if he can hit the mid-range, if he can get him. Either way, if he's that threatening on the offensive side when the Hogs have the ball, that opens up so much for this team. Holy cow. And so I hope, and to me, that's like one of the things I would love to see happen, that he becomes a legitimate scorer. I'm not saying Isaiah Joe numbers, Rodney Clark. I'm not asking him to do that. I'm just saying, he doesn't have to put the fear of God in you with his perimeter game, but he's going to try and stroke 2 or 3 a game, and he's probably going to hit them. It changes the way you defend Arkansas entirely. And then you add in Note, you add in Moses Moody, you add in KK, who I don't know if he's going to end up getting the starting point guard spot, but is a scoring threat when he gets on the floor. He started off a little slow. I think he was like 0 for 3 0 for 4, and then he went off a little bit there later on in the game. Also, Bud Walton capacity, by the way, if you guys didn't hear this, 4,000 fans on the year, men and women's. So these protocols are going to be that sucks. I'm not going to lie. I was really hoping they'd let them get to like 7,000, but not going to happen. So that's the question. I have questions about point guard. Jalen Tate, I think he's going to end up being your guy. He had 11 points. I want to say he had 4 or 5 rebounds, 8 assists, 0 turnovers. I was pretty impressed with what I saw from Tate. Is he going to be someone who racks up double-digit points? I'd be surprised if he averaged, 9 or more than 9, 10 points a game. But no turnovers. You're getting 7, 8 assists. Okay, we're talking. Get 8, 9 points a game, 10 points a game. I'm taking that. I'm taking that to the bank because you got to consider what's around him. KK's going to challenge him. KK ended up finishing with 18 points, 8 of 11 shooting. Did turn the ball over quite a bit, and he only had like 2 assists. I only counted 1, but again, I stepped away. The game didn't have my full attention last night, but was still impressed with his ability to come off and score points quick. And I think KK would be the opposite of point guard. You may not get the assist numbers high by him. So I guess you have to ask how does Musselman's style, what does it benefit off of more? Individual scoring by KK or passing the ball around, getting the assists, racking up, not concerned with points, but more concerned with opening things up, passing the ball around a little bit, getting 7, 8 assists a game. Holy cow. I mean, that changes things. That allows you to shift the floor. I'm not a basketball expert, but I know enough that having a point guard who can move the ball around and open things up like that's a huge advantage, especially with the talent that you have. If Note is going to do what he did last night, and Moody's going to fire off like he did last night also, like he got off that fast start, you're going to have a couple of scorers. You're going to have guys, you're going to have Vanover more than likely underneath, who's going to give you some second chance shots on the offensive side of things. And he should give you some more rebounds, and you should get more offensive rebounds were such an issue last year. And we know you got out-rebounded every game. Size is going to help with that, and depth is just huge. I cannot tell you guys how important this depth is. It is, you guys get it. Some of you know more about, college basketball than I do, but I think we all understand that, having these guys able to rotate, being that deep, having more than just one decent, I think they're going to be pretty stacked at guard, and you're going to be able to rotate guys in and out. You've got the size. I'm really excited about Ethan Henderson. I don't know, but he looks a little faster. He looks like he's either lost weight, but he looks like he's gained a little bit more like confidence, and he's got them ups, baby. Yeah, I'm really excited about what's going on with Arkansas basketball. It's they're looking pretty good. They're looking really good. Yeah, in the beginning of this, it was all about Moody, but the biggest takeaway of the night was J-Day. I did it again. Dear God, J-Day. We're just going to call him J-Day. What up, J-Day Note? He ended up with 7 threes. I would, on the defensive side of things, I'd really like him to step up and play better defense. But again, this was a scrimmage against guys that he knows. Maybe he picks that up during the regular season. So we also have some recruiting news. Hogs got 3 players in this week. 4-star prospect Chance Moore. That was a big one. 6'5", right under 200 pounds out of Georgia. He's a combo guard, I believe, maybe. And then you signed the 6'10" JUCO Akal Mowen out of Navarro College. You add more size. You're all about that. And, of course, you can't forget about the Little Rock transfer, 6'7", Kamani Johnson. So, yeah. Football, so we've got some recruiting news. I don't know if you guys saw this. Cameron Ball, the guy whose name just continued to slip, I finally just said, I need to type this out. Cameron Ball has changed his commitment date again. I don't know. I think one of the Hog Talk guys, I think Kyle said this is like the 4th time that he's switched his date. Look, kids are going to be kids. They really like the spotlight. I don't know if that's what's going on here. I don't know if Ball is like I've said before, if it were me, I'd probably be doing the same thing, especially with social media. I want that spotlight all on me. Look at what I do, for crying out loud. I mean, I'm not a hypocrite. I call it like I see it, and that includes me. Hey, pay attention to me. I'm a big time 6 foot. How big is he? 6'5". No. Where's he at? 6'5", 305-pound defensive tackle / offensive tackle. I'm a badass. I'm vastly underrated. He is, by the way. I think Arkansas has offered him to play offensive line. I've got all these offers. Come on, give me some spec. Put some spec on my name. And that's exactly what I think he's trying to do, if I'm being honest. I don't know that, but I get it, is what I'm saying. But he has switched his date again. Now it's December 16th. And yes, he is currently rated a 3-star across the board, 247 Rivals, I think ESPN too. Wherever he ends up signing. And again, I think Arkansas has offered him to play offensive tackle. So Hogs want him at tackle, and I think some other schools are really heavy on him to play defensive side of the ball. I don't know. Georgia Tech was the other school that was all over him. Scrolling down here, Jalen Catalon, old news. You guys know this. Freshman or SEC Defensive Player of the Week, 4th time this year. Quattro times this year we've seen a Razorback make SEC Defender of the Year. 12 tackles and a pick last week. Okay, before we get into this, so our next and final thing will be Florida. Breaking down Florida really quick. Let me check out Chad. How do you spell that? I don't know what you're talking about. 21 points. Okay, so Moody ended up with 21 points. Okay. So he ended up with at least another 10 points in the second half. Jay Smith, super athletic. Yeah, Smith. I mean, there's so many names. There's so much depth. There's so many bodies on the floor. Jay Smith is super athletic and will pair nicely with Jackson and Moses, firing from range and attacking the rim. We've been missing that that can go get it since Portis. Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. Portis, we don't talk enough about the bodies that Portis had around him when he was here. They had some decent bodies around him. I mean, a lot of role playing guys, but I don't think that's going to be the case this year. I don't think you're going to have a bunch of role players. I mean, you are, but they're also going to step up and have their moments where they shine. And I don't know that we've seen. This has got to be one of the most talented rosters Razorback basketball has put together in a long time. If opponents have to guard Vanover from behind the arch, the big man defender can't sag back to the edge of the paint. Lots of room for a slasher, says Mark Douglas, watching a high school football game in Texas. Oh, okay, and cool. Why did the only sign to two in this class? I think that's all they had room for. Plus, you had the transfer. I'm pretty sure. Saving up for the 2022 class. Yeah, they're probably just saving room. Instead of May Day, we now have J Day. I'm just going to call him J Day. Have two to three top 50 players. It's loaded. This class is just so much talent. Can't stay for long. Arkansas is better than you think, says. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Go Hogs, and make sure to subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Look at you. You go. Ty, how much communication between Sam and Barry is possible once this game starts, in your opinion? I really don't know the rules. I do not know the rules here. I don't know what they're going to be able to do. I don't know what kind of SEC or NCAA regulations are in place. In my opinion, under these circumstances with COVID, I don't see why it would be a problem. Well, I could probably actually see it being a problem, rolling in an iPad, and then Sam Pittman's face is on, like something out of RoboCop. It just rolls it in. It's just like this. It's like a cheap just piece of wood hanging from a string, and you got the iPad kind of swinging back and forth. It rolls in, and he goes, "Yes, sir." That's some RoboCop stuff. I don't know. I don't know, Justin. I have no idea. As far as I know, I don't see how that's a problem. But then I guess I can see how it might be a problem. I don't know. It's like Karen from SpongeBob. Says Gavin Pratt. How you doing, Gavin? Hope you guys are doing well. Remember, like the video or the live stream, share, all that stuff. Okay, here we go. We're gonna try and make this quick. I'm gonna try and knock this out for you guys. Arkansas, Florida on the road. So the first thing that stands out, obviously, and we all know this, is Dan Mullen's wife likes to kiss the players. I'm sorry. I mean, they are a perfect 25 of 25 in the red zone, 19 touchdowns. Oh, Ty, why'd you go there? 19 touchdowns, 6 field goals. They are 25 of 25 in the red zone. That's pretty good. They average 369 yards passing through the air. That is good enough for 5th in the country. And I know I always say things are skewed. Stats are skewed right now because you still got teams not playing. You got teams coming in late. But that's still pretty impressive. 126 rushing yards per game. I think the Hogs, well, I'm not going to say they should be able to stop that or slow it down. I'm not going to say that because, honestly, they haven't shown me that they can consistently shut the run down for a full game. They always give up big chunks of yards in one half, and then they make the adjustments in the second half. So I don't know how – that might end up being key because if you don't have to worry about the run and you're dropping everybody back into coverage and you're only bringing 3, which I'm starting to think the more film I watch of Florida, I don't know of any other way how to slow these guys down other than the Mississippi State-Ole Miss approach. What you did to those two teams, backing everybody off. Trask will throw that football. The thing is if you do that, Dan Mullins is good enough and knows and likes to utilize running backs out of these draw plays. He'll catch you sleeping. It's not like what you saw against Mississippi State, again, where you back everybody off and then you don't really have to worry about the run. Remember, their star running back got knocked out in that game. You talk about just complete dominance. Arkansas laid out the blueprints to how to deal with Mississippi State. I don't know that they win another game this year, but I don't know how you approach this from a defensive standpoint. They also average 42 points per game. Currently 12th in the country, 29 points allowed per game. ESPN gives Arkansas on their FPI, on their Football Power Index, approximately a 10% chance of pulling away with the dub. Obviously, Kyle Trask is that dude. I mean, that guy is through 5 games, 125 completions out of 182 pass attempts. So he's completing them, man. And they go deep, they go yard, they go over the middle. They'll short hitch, slant routes. They'll hit you with everything. 1,815 yards, how I should say that. 22 touchdowns, only 3 picks, and has been sacked only 5 times this year. Obviously, the other guy who we're still waiting on, tight end, 6'6", 250-pound tight end, I should say, Kyle Pitts. He took a vicious hit in the head neck area in the second quarter against Georgia. Still racked up. Did you guys see how many yards they racked up on Georgia in the first half last week? That's terrifying. Now, Georgia claims, look, we're banged up. Our defense is banged up. We're short on depth. And it is entirely possible that Florida just completely took advantage of their and look, they were dealing with injuries going into that game, and then I guess they had a couple more injuries during that game or in the middle of the game, and Florida just completely took them apart. Kyle Trask took them apart. I can't imagine what else they could have done had Pitts played that entire game. So that could be something to consider, but I just think I think Florida is just going to rack up some yards. It is real easy to look at what they did a week ago and say, okay, can they do that 2 weeks in a row in the SEC? Arkansas has been playing pretty good defense. We have seen them expose offenses that once thought they were really good. But look, you saw what Kellen Mond did, and Trask is a better quarterback than Mond. Not saying that you can't slow him down or contain him. I'm just saying. But again, Kyle Pitts, he took that hit. He's questionable for this weekend as far as I know, but he has 23 catches, 414 yards, 8 receiving touchdowns. Probably the best tight end in the country. They also have Damian Pierce at running back, 49 carries, 221 yards, 2 touchdowns. Something to consider, Arkansas, in terms of yardage, is the least penalized team in the SEC. They only give up about 34 yards a game in penalties. And, which that's great. oftentimes, I mean, anytime you get a penalty is a bad thing, especially if it's a 3rd and short, or if you're starting to drive off instead of 1st and 10 from your own 25, you're starting from behind your 20 because of a stupid penalty. I get that. But the fact that you're only giving up 34 yards a game in penalties is pretty impressive. For Arkansas to have a chance, a number of things have to happen. First off, I think Pitts has to not play. I think Pitts has to be out of this game, I think, for Arkansas. You could still – maybe you could cover, but how you defend Pitts, that's everything. How you defend Pitts is going to be everything. And they've got some other playmakers around the ball, not just Pitts. But he's going to be someone, if he's healthy, going to be an issue. But I think if you play a mistake-free football like you've done most of the year, other than 4th down penalties, which are just head-scratchers, but play mistake-free football, no penalties, all penalties are costly, but no 3rd and short penalties. Don't start off a drive behind the line of scrimmage or further back, getting backed up because of stupid penalties, holding calls, false starts, what have you, because you are going to be playing on the road in what will probably be a somewhat hostile environment. I don't have the amount of people that are allowed in the stands in this game, but you've got to play pretty freaking sound. You've got to play your best football that you've played all year. And look, I thought in the A&M game they weren't terrible. Arkansas wasn't terrible. It was more about just how much better A&M was, how much more talent they have. They're not trying to establish themselves. Arkansas is trying to establish themselves. A&M, right now, they're playing for playoff spots, or a playoff spot. What do you think Florida's playing for? Florida's playing for a playoff spot, and that's exactly what you're about to deal with this week. This is not a Mississippi State kind of setup. I've seen that on social media. This feels like Mississippi State 2.0. No, it is not. This is a team with far more talent, with a far better quarterback, and just a much better staff, better head coach. This is a legit football team. Very well could be a playoff team. The way they're playing right now, they're legit. Here's the thing, and something that I did not say on the podcast that I should have said, and I just left it out for whatever reason. I really like the veer and shoot offense and Kendall Briles' play calling style against a very aggressive Florida defense. Grantham is aggressive. He's a very aggressive defensive play caller. Veer and shoot is built for those kind of defenses. They're already questionable on defense. Florida this year, I mean, they give up 400 yards a game. That's about what Arkansas gives up. Actually, they give up a full yard more. 262 yards a game through the air and 140 on the ground. Now, they do somehow, despite those numbers, they're only giving up 29 points per game. You could say the same thing about Arkansas. They're giving up 400 yards a game, and they're still only giving up 26 points. In this day and age, that's incredible. If you're holding anybody below 32, 33 points a game, that's pretty good on average. And if you're going further south than that, you're holding them below 31. That's pretty good. Below 30, that's really good. Below 25, like Arkansas, holy hell, that's pretty damn good. And that's what the Hogs are doing. And Florida's only giving up 29 points a game. So in this day and age of college football, Florida's defense, in terms of scoring, not terrible. So, but there are some mismatches here. That veer and shoot's going to take advantage of a very aggressive Florida defense. Now, Grantham could call it different this week. I don't know. We can't forget, despite their numbers on defense, what they've given up, they are still loaded with 4- and 5-star talent. Anytime you have that kind of talent, you can work with that as a coach, as a coordinator. You can find matchup problems and solve them simply because you have the better athlete at that moment in time. That's a little bit easier for teams like Florida versus Arkansas playing teams like Ole Miss, Tennessee, and A&M. Tennessee, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, where they don't have anyone that can match up with Treylon Burks. They don't have anybody that can match up with Hudson Henry or Kern. Kern is my boy. I hope Kern – I'm really coming around to Kern. That guy is nimble. I said that in Discord. He is nimble for someone his size. But the way Florida plays on defense, you sneak a tight end out on, what do they call those, delay routes, where they play fake, kind of like, not a play fake, but they pretend like they're blocking and they just run off and run downfield. Nobody's covering them. You get 8 or 9 yards over the middle. I could see that happening with the tight ends. Those delayed delay routes that they run where it's like a soft route underneath, or they run crossing routes. They're going to have to, I think, not only is someone going to have to stand out in the running game with Rakeem Boyd or Treylon, I don't care, one of them stand out, but you're going to need, I think, the tight ends to be heavily involved in this week because you're going to need those check down throws. It's going to be nice to have a bigger body to throw the underneath route to. I wish they ran more crossing routes underneath. I don't know why they don't. They have the players to do it. They've got the speed at slot. They've got the size and the athletic ability at tight end with Hudson Henry. And Kern, again, I think Kern is starting to surprise people. Not bad for a walk-on. But I'm telling you, I think that this veer and shoot offense, it's kind of a kryptonite to this defense. And again, Florida's defense is already struggling this year as far as yardage and giving up big plays. They've given up at least a 20-yard play in every game, and in multiple games against kind of offenses, they've given up multiple 25-yard gains on offense. They give up big plays. So that makes you wonder. We've seen what Burks can do this year. We've seen what he's done against good defenses. Remember Georgia. Go back to Georgia. Go back to about any game he's played. He's had at least one big play and then a couple of other, mediocre gains here and there. He's capable of getting 6 or 7 grabs for $110, $115, maybe a touchdown or two every week. And maybe more so if you could get the run game going, get the running game established, and that opens up everything. We've seen what this offense does when the running game is established. It's hard to stop. And then when they get going, and this is the other thing too, I don't know if people are noticing this, but when Arkansas slows down, and that's what's going to make clock management really hard for the Hogs as long as Kendall Briles is here. Because they are at their worst when they slow down. They've got to go tempo, tempo, tempo. It's got to be fast. Plays over, line up, do your thing. Line up, snap the ball. As soon as that ref gets the hell out of the way, you snap the ball. And so, Florida, if you do that, don't make any adjustments, don't make any substitutions, keep Florida against the ropes, you're going to put up points. I think Arkansas puts up points this weekend. I just do. Felipe Franks, we talk about the revenge factor. I don't know if that's what's going around in his head, but I know he wants to look good in front of a crowd that he used to play for. I think he wants to look good. He wants to show Dan Mullins, like, hey, this is what you're missing out on. I know Trask is that dude, but I'm just saying I've got skill too. And go out and do it. That could be something on his mind, and maybe that gives him a little bit of an advantage going into this weekend. I don't know. But, yeah, run game, Felipe Franks, tempo, tempo, tempo. You do that, you cover the spread, and you put yourself in a position to possibly get an upset down in Gainesville. I don't think it happens. The spread right now is at 17.5. The over-under did change, actually. It was, I think, 62. It's down to 60. Strange because the spread has not moved. I do think the Hogs cover the spread. I have them right now at 43 to 30. Florida at 43 to 30. So I think the Hogs lose this one by 13. Regardless of how it happens, I think they cover the spread. And even if that means maybe Florida gets out to this big lead, kind of like what happened with A&M, where you get up a couple, 2-3 scores, and then Florida lets off a little bit. Arkansas takes advantage. Maybe they get some makeup points. Something tells me you're 6-0 against the spread. There's no reason why you can't go 7-0 against a defense that's pretty uneven. There's no reason why they shouldn't be able to cover the spread. So let me get to chat really quick, and we'll see what's going on. Pittman said he was going to sit back and watch the game and let Barry run it. Okay. I didn't see that. Hogs need to run it down Florida's throats. Do you think they should use Treylon Smith more, says Kryptonite? They need to get him more involved. I'd like to see him and Rakeem Boyd in the backfield at the same time more than we've already seen them. I think they're both capable of doing big things. Treylon had the better week, but we could see a scenario where for a week or two, one guy does better, and then the following week, which we're running out of games, the following week someone else at the running back spot, either Rakeem Boyd or Treylon, has the better game. I think some of that, it's more about style than it is about who's better than who. Because Treylon's shifty. He doesn't have that, and again, I don't want to call Rakeem Boyd a power back because that's not what he is, but he has more power. He's a little bit more aggressive on the run. He has the ability to run through tackles. He's got pretty good vision, too. But when things are clogged up, he's not a guy that can bounce, outside the way Treylon can. Not that Boyd hasn't done that. He's capable of doing that, but Treylon's more fitted to doing that. He's small. He's a little bit smaller, a little bit less weight, and he's got that I don't know what you call it. It kind of reminds me, he's not Alex Collins, but he reminds me of that ability to shift his momentum and then go into another direction. He's got that where Rakeem Boyd doesn't. So he fits the mold when a defense is defending the north-south run game really well. So now you got to defend the outside edge with Treylon. You've got to worry about what he's capable of doing on the outside. So maybe you go with the 4-3 under defense where you move your linebackers and you shift them over, where you basically have two defensive ends on one side of the ball, and you try to get the offensive line kind of off balance a little bit. So then, what does that do? Well, that might open up that side of the field for Felipe Franks. That's why I'd like to see both Rakeem Boyd and Treylon on the field a little bit more. Because they're both – Treylon is becoming a legitimate threat. Again, I still think Boyd is – I think he's better suited. Like, he's an NFL caliber back. Treylon just fits the mold for what's going on. For the fact that Arkansas's offensive line still doesn't get consistent push. He's the solution to that. Okay. There's no north-south run game. I'm just going to bounce outside. I'm going to set the outside edge. You better defend the flats because I can catch the ball. That's the other dynamic to his game, too. He can catch the ball out of the flats. So one way or another, we need to see them both involved more, and I want to see tight ends. I want to see tight ends involved more in this offense. A lot of opportunities to shut down the sky, the no-fly zone, says Michael Harris. They have done that. Teams that throw the ball a lot, that aren't as balanced, and Florida has balance on offense. On offense, they have balance. I don't know if it's as good, like the run game, if it's as good as what A&M was capable of doing against the Hogs. If they get the run game going, Arkansas is going to get killed, y'all. Unless, the only reason why I say that is because then play action. And Hogs have responded pretty well to play fakes this year, I think, based on what I've seen. Maybe there's some stat out there that says otherwise, but it worries me when a team can get the run game going. You go back to Auburn, they got the run game going, and they had a huge lead. Fortunately for Arkansas, their quarterback not doing so hot under Chad Morris. Shocker. Shocked me. Well, it didn't shock me, but it didn't shock me. I better back up. Didn't shock me. Kind of surprised me a little bit how bad they really are on offense. But you go back to that game, look at the lead Auburn got up to. And then Arkansas was forced to slow the run down. They did that, but Auburn's passing game is so bad, Auburn couldn't take advantage. So Arkansas was able to get back into the game. Florida, it's a different scenario. Florida, we've got the run game established. Oh, you're going to slow us down? Okay, we have maybe the best quarterback in college football this year. We're going to throw it all over. We're going to utilize play action, and we're going to kill you with it. That kind of concerns me a little bit. Not to mention, Florida's just better on offense, really. But Michael's not wrong. That gives you an advantage because we're going to see how well Trask plays against Barry Odom's zone coverage defense. I don't expect to see a lot of man coverage, especially if I don't know how they defend that tight end if he plays. I just don't know what you do. Maybe you stick to the no-fly zone, to the zone coverage, and just let him loose. I don't know. I feel like Rakeem keeps having good games this year when we don't expect it this year. I say he's the difference in this one, Ty. Okay. You may not be wrong. Rakeem has shown this year that when you think he's not – when you don't expect him to do much, he turns around and he does a lot. So, hey, Ty and everyone else. What's up, Bamsy? How you doing? The main thing that has to happen is for us to not get screwed by the SEC officials again in Gainesville. Florida is not as good as A&M. I don't know about that, Scott. I don't know. I tend to think their offense is way better than A&M's, but their defense is not anywhere near as good as A&M's. I don't know where I'm at with that debate. They did beat Florida. But the strange thing is, since that game, their offense has gotten, I think, even better. We'll see. I hope they're not as good as A&M, because if that's the chance, Arkansas will definitely cover the spread. But you bring up a good point. I mean, maybe Florida did lose to A&M after all. Yeah, 6 likes. I know, right? Where the likes at, guys? Get the likes up. Come on. Throw me some love. Why don't we see Knox as much? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. I really have no idea what's going on with Trey Knox. I have no idea. I'm asked that every week, and I wish I had an answer for you. I don't. I'd like to see him more involved. I could not imagine what this offense would look like, and maybe that's part of the problem. He just doesn't mesh well with the offense. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't like it. If Hog's upset, Ty better shave that whole beard. It's not. No. I think a straight up win will be the reason to shave the beard post game. If I shave my beard, the only benefit out of it for me is that I look 8 years younger. I mean, I'll look like I'm in my 20s. It's the only advantage of me shaving my beard. I'm not doing it. I'm telling you. Has Florida played any defense is better than the Hogs. They played A&M, who I think is better on defense. If not, then why not believe that we have a chance to slow down that offense and keep it close? No, they played A&M, and A&M I think is better. They're sound because of the talent. They've just got more talent. I think that's why they're better. I think, like I said, since that game, I think their offense has turned it around. I think their offense, I say turn it around as if it's ever been bad this year. They've just played really good on offense, and they've gotten better. Doug, I'm not shaving the beard, bro. It's not happening. Tristan, I hope that answers your question, bud. I would be willing to up my Patreon. It'd take, I don't know. There's not even a monetary value on this luscious beard. I'm not doing it, man. I'm just not doing it. And not only when I shave my beard, I'll lose the baritone. I'll lose and then all of a sudden I'll sound like, hey, guys. Hey, what's going on? Hogs played really good. It's just, I can't do it. Once you shave the beard off, the voice goes with it. It's like a 2-for-1 deal. Ty, this is the game to have Boyd and Smith on the field together. I agree. I would like to see Traylon Smith in the passing game like we did in the Auburn game. Viet Hog checking in. What's up, Matthew? How's it going? Come on, Hog family. 51 watching, 13 likes. Yeah, smash that like. Smash that like, as all the other YouTubers in the world say. Smash that like button. Caught the cast. You know where I stand on tomorrow's game results. Alex, you crack me up. Oh, my goodness. It's going to take a lot for Arkansas to beat these guys, I'm telling you. It's going to take a lot. Now, it is entirely possible that they aren't as good as advertised and that they are not as good as A&M. They did lose that game, and Arkansas walks down there and finds a way to get the dub. They do it for Sammy Pitty. I don't know. I think it's entirely possible. I've been wrong so much this year about underestimating people. I'm not doing that. I'm going to say, you know what? I don't know. Maybe. On paper, they shouldn't even be in this game. On paper, 17.5 might be friendly if that tight end plays. But, not just on paper, based on what I've seen. It's also possible that Arkansas's defense is really that much better than Florida's offense. Well, or on the same level as Florida's offense, and then it's a much closer game. That's also possible. A path to victory just seems rough based on what I've read, what I've seen, and just their numbers. Hopefully. Oh no, wait. Let me back up. Alex says, with the two backs we got, Boyd needs to be our power McFadden style back, and Traylon our Felix speedster. But Darren McFadden was faster. Darren McFadden was, what was he at his combine? 6'1", 225, ran a 4.3 laser. I think Felix was like a 4.4, 4.3 guy, right? God, watching those two guys play in person was incredible. You're not wrong. I'd like to see a little thunder and lightning. I'd like to see them both involved more. Hopefully, after winning this big rivalry game against Georgia for the first time in 4 years, the Gators will be somewhat flat against us. The like is automatic time. Oh, thanks, Brett. I appreciate that. That is another point. how they destroyed Georgia. How much did they leave on the field last week? And that was going to be my last point, actually. Thanks, Brett, for bringing that up, man. You reminded me to say this. How much of what happened last week is left in last week? Can they play at that level again? Now, they have been pretty consistent on offense throughout the year, but it makes you wonder. They played really damn hard against Florida. Sometimes you wonder when a team does what Florida did a week ago to a really good opponent. I say really good. Georgia's starting to slip a little bit. I know they've got injuries racking up, but it just kind of makes you wonder, can they keep up that momentum? Can they ride that momentum into this week against Arkansas? And that's hard to do in this league, especially against a defense that plays as sound as Arkansas does. We'll see. Again, Brett, appreciate the like, man. If we go 7-3, you got to shave. Well, I don't think so. I have to like after. See, I have to like after it won't let me right now. Oh, okay, all right. Laugh out loud. The beard is manly, man. Do you think our linebackers can keep up with Kyle? Can keep him in check? If that's the matchup they want to run with, I think he runs loose. You guys, I'm telling you, he is something else to watch. He is a legit top. I mean, he's going to be the highest rated tight end to come out of college in a while if he plays this weekend. I don't know. I don't know if a linebacker, if that's the matchup you want. You know, you're also talking about a guy that's 6'5", 6'6", 250. I mean, how do you cover that? I mean, I'm not saying he's Gronkowski when Gronk was healthy. But at the college level, he's as close as you're going to get. I don't know what he does at the league. I mean, you never know. These guys shine as stars in college, and they go on to the pros and don't do a damn thing. But in college right now, in this offense, in this current climate, in this current setting, he is the real deal. I don't know how you cover him. I really don't know what the answer is. You know, someone mentioned to me, what if you put Catalan on him? Catalan is great. I don't know if he covers a 6'6" tight end. Well, Mississippi State, U of A, and Ole Miss was not as good as advertised either, says Doug Stubbs. Tristan Turner, I hope we can get the run game going to keep the time of possession in our hands, keep the offense off the field as much as we can. And again, that goes back to what I said earlier. You can't play time of possession in this offense with Bryles. You just can't do it because they don't play as good when they try to slow things down. Now, when it comes crunch time in the final minutes, if you somehow have a lead against Florida and it's 4.5, 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, you better figure out how to slow things down. You better figure out how to run the clock and eat it up, take the ball out of their hands. I have not seen Arkansas be able to play well when they slow things down. They're at their best. It's not saying that they can't, and maybe they do. You know, maybe that fits a little bit more of what Boyd can do in this offense and what Treylon can do if you slow things down and try to establish the run. Let's not forget these guys have 15 sacks on the year, and they've played 5 games. They've played a game less than Arkansas has, and they have more sacks. Arkansas's given up 18 sacks. Felipe Franks is one of the most sacked, if not the most sacked quarterback in the SEC. So you're gonna have to figure out how to keep them off balance, and you do that with tempo, and you do that with check down throws. You do that similar to what Mon did to Arkansas. You know, you're gonna blitz me, or I'm gonna throw right where you blitz. I'm gonna throw right to that gap, but you're gonna have to go tempo to keep up with Florida. You're gonna have to go fast. I have not seen Arkansas be able to slow things down and have any success on offense. I've just not seen them do that yet this year. Maybe they do it against Florida. I don't know. Typically, Tristan, I would agree. I would. During the Brett Bielema era, I love that aspect of the offense because everybody was going high tempo, and it felt like, well, wait, if you could run the ball, play sound defense, eat up the clock, you're going to win some games. Unfortunately, you had after Sam Pittman left, it all kind of fell apart. But in this day and age, you've got to match tempo with tempo. That's just the way it is. If you slow things down, and Arkansas is just not there yet. On the offensive line, that's the other problem. They're just not there yet. They've got a ways to go on the offensive line before you could try to. I guess that's the other problem too with when it comes down to trying to eat up clock. if you're going to be predictable, and especially when you do things out of shotgun, where there's a little bit of a delay and there's a gap between you and the ball and the line of scrimmage, you've got to have bodies up front, and they just don't have the talent up front. Outside of one guy, Stromberg, I don't think they have a lot of talent up front right now. They don't have it. Ty, take one of them. Ty, take one for the team, bro. If we win, you should take the bet, but make it well worth. Your while. Well, how is it worth my while? I'm the one losing the beard. Nobody else is risking anything but me. Come on now. What? Well, I mean, chat, they want me to shave my beard if Arkansas beats Florida. No? Well, you're losing the bet here because now my wife says absolutely not. What are you divorce me if I shave my beard? You can't talk, so it doesn't look like I'm talking to the wall. There you have it. I mean, now I'm risking a hell of a lot more. Now, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. There's no monetary value, and there's no gain for me here to shave my beard. It's not happening. Ty, the difference of the score in this game, whether we lose by 30 or by 3, will be Frank's. Yeah, and that's what I said on the podcast. It's going to come down to Frank's. I agree. If he doesn't hesitate, we are probably in for a shootout. If he doesn't hesitate, if he's dialed in, if everyone's on the same page on the offensive side of the ball, if Kendall Briles, for the love of God, just plays a sound game or calls a sound game on offense, who knows what they could do. I think they could absolutely keep up the pace against Florida. Put box and one with Catalan on Pitts. Yeah, you've just. I mean, if only Catalan was like 6'3", 6'4.5". Who was that big JUCO safety we had years ago under Petrino? It was like 6'4", 220. Cousin was the kid that played for the Redskins that died. What was that kid's name? Came in the same year, I think, as Rudell Krim. That's going to drive me crazy. If you had someone like that with Catalan's athletic ability, then I would say, yeah, do it. But Catalan, I don't know. Anything can happen. I'm not gonna. Who knows? Who knows what happens? The beard is you, dude. Don't lose the respect of your family. Beard and manly. I don't think I would lose their respect. I mean, I do all sorts of crazy crap. I shaved my head a couple of years ago just for whatever reason. I did. I walked in the bathroom and shaved it all off. I wouldn't lose respect, but might be sleeping on the couch more. Might be some lonely nights, some lonely cold nights for Ty. My bad, laugh out loud. I knew that. I don't know what I was thinking. Definitely can't play the time of possession game. Doug Stubbs, don't run the clock out. Keep trying to score. At least chop it down. No. Come on, man. It's no shave November anyways. With how special teams has been this year, is this a game where everything is 4-down territory if we get across the 40? It very well could be. It very well could be. Wife wins. Go Ty. Hey there, my brother. What's up, Daniel? How you doing, man? Nah, bro, don't shave. Mama says no, case closed. That beard is wizardly. It's never coming off. All right, I've got a dinner to go to next door. Our neighbors. We're gonna have a. We were gonna eat outside, but I think now we're gonna have to bring it inside. It's getting a little chilly out there. Looking forward to that. I haven't eaten yet. I'm starving. So that is gonna do it. I do have Florida in this one, 43-30. I think Arkansas covers the spread. 7-0 against the spread. You got to be happy with that. Great teams cover spreads, and I think Arkansas is capable of doing that against Florida. I do, especially if Pitts doesn't play. If he does play, I think there's a possibility you could cover the spread, but it just becomes a lot less likely. So, yeah. All right, like, share the content, tap the subscribe button if you guys haven't already. There will be a halftime show tomorrow on the Hog Talk over on Facebook, the Facebook page. Arkansas Hog Talk. I will be live at a half, and then post-game show will be here. So, yeah, hopefully. Who knows how this one pans out? If Arkansas does win, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to shave my beard, but I really don't know what I would do, honestly. I'd probably just be hammered anyway, so I don't know. You get to see Drunk Ty on live stream. Sorry, guys. See, there she is. Wife spoke. The wife has spoken. Love, peace, and hair grease. What? Yeah, there she is. Sarah Hudson in chat. She says no. 48-45. Nope, can't do it. 40. Wait. So you got 2 scores. Oh, I see what you're doing. You're going to take the Hogs 45-42. If it's a shootout, I don't know if you can go toe to toe with Florida. I don't know. We haven't really seen that happen yet this year. It'd be great though, wouldn't it? No worries, boss lady. She's the boss. So, all right. Woo Pig Suey. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Be safe. Be careful out there, and beware of the Karens. They're out there taking pictures of people not wearing their masks, so beware. Nazis.